Is Devorah Major. I am a poet who is based in California, from California, and I'm going to be reading you a selection from my newest book, Califia's Daughter. And Queen Califia was an African Amazon queen, possibly real and then mythologized, definitely made into myth. And because Cortez was reading a book with her as a character, when he reached the steep rocky cliffs of California, he thought he would see African peoples there, and he named it the Isle of Califia. I'm California born, so I am one of Califia's daughters. This first poem is called African American Song. It is a song of we, the people who are of African descent in the Americas, and it also is a song of the music of our peoples that we have created. Afro-American Song. Listen to the notes, sweet and hard, round and full, dark honeyed lava, jazz melodies, bebop riffs, blues grits, notes braided with roots growing deep inside your soul. Colored of ebony and mahogany, sepia tones that will break free, notes hardy and fierce, singing survival, singing endurance, singing time all around the planet, humming with the stars, punctuating the seasons, round and full, honey and lava, sweet and hard, dark and long, jazz melodies, bebop riffs, blues, grit, rockin', swinging, flying. Which brings us to what we are at our essence. And when I say we, I just don't mean those of us that are of African descent. Well, ultimately, we all are of African descent, aren't we? But those of us who are human, stardust. Out of clay, they caution. Dust to dust, they intone. From earth you came, and to earth you will return, they admonish. They remind us we are mortal and subject to death, yet insist on their eternals, demons and angels, paradise or purgatory, merely human with a finite number of days. But we have exploded as novas, burned through galaxies, explored far reaches of the Milky Way, ridden on the tails of comets, danced on the edge of asteroids until, in a dizzying frenzy of passion, we fell through the viscous ozone, past cooling clouds, to settle in the ooze that feeds the ocean's floor. It was there that we decided to grow limbs and tongue, all the while holding inside the truth of our origin. Magnesium, calcium, iron, copper, we are the stuff that stars are made of. It's a scientific fact, a cosmic trust. In ignorance and in knowing, we hold grains of the divine inside ourselves, and we always have. Which brings us, of course, to then having bodies. And this poem comes from my belief that all of us are interconnected, not just to our family with whom we share genealogy, not just through our ethnic or nationalistic roots, but also to the mountains and to the rivers, to everything. The shape of my body changes. Not long ago, my body seemed formless, just a pulse and heat, all flesh consumed in passion. My spirit spread out beyond the bones, through the blood, past the sweat, seeming to touch distant stars. Less than a week before that, I had fins, but no gills or tail, suddenly sleek as I pulled through the tepid water, blue like the sky, cloudless and distant. Sometimes my body is bloated, too full of waste. It bulges here and pinches there, cluttered with snot and trivialities. Often it is round, able to go in many directions at the same time, a constant circle of being. And then at times my body is nothing, but a racing heart and long elk legs darting through a deserted glen. One morning last month, it was long and thin, at certain angles hard to see, like the Sudanese woman, belongings on her head, bright yellow and green caftan swaying in the dry wind as she, draped with hunger, led her children through a war zone to a war zone. My body shifts and changes, but always caresses the air, enjoys the breath of stilled wind against breast or thigh, through hair. My body remains a simply cast temple of love and forgiveness. And I'd like to move there to the idea of the earth. And if this is a return trip for me, what I think I brought of memories, and if I'm going from this to another sphere, another world or universe, what I may bring with me of earth memories. Water, heat, color everywhere, wings, fur, flesh, roots, gossamer and rope, seed, sea, loam and sand, an infinite ability to birth, to heal, to kill, to die. The shape of wind, its sound. I chose this poem because I think in these very difficult times, there are things that we have no choice but to face. Our eyes are held open to them, and our hearts, assuming we have actively working ones, and I'm not just talking about beating. And so this is called Cycles. In this season, this harsh, uncompromising season, in this season, which will be one of the 2,000 seasons through which we sift the grains of our experience, as we learn how to make a better now, as we learn why to maintain a more compassionate how. In this gray though radiant time, there is so much loss, a freedom, a liberty, a confidence in the inevitability of love, or the unwavering surety that there are more kind people in the world than cruel, more people full of caring than bitter with apathy, that there is more resolve than fear, more possibility than tragedy. And then there are the inevitable deaths, the losses of those whose absences create spaces that seem to be bordered only by the edges of eternity. Spaces that we try to embroider over with memories and photographs, anecdotes and tears, creating a silken filigree that can be torn apart by the softest breeze until we are left again with the deep bowl of sadness that makes up so much of these days, these times. In this season, when we are shown that our lives have become unending lessons on receiving golden gifts that we must inevitably let go of over and over again, we must receive and let go, receive and let go, receive and let go, with blessings and with grace. What are our lives but pushing and climbing through, understanding that who and what we love, who and what we lost, has not in truth been wrestled from our arms or quietly slipped away, has not disintegrated or been destroyed, but has instead been transformed into another purpose, into another form. What is this journey as human but passage through and over infinite crossroads which offer up pain and celebration as our wings beat against and finally break through this tight cocoon of life? And what is life but loss and gain inside the music of our breath? And what must we learn but to forgive and to surrender, but to love and to let go, but to place no more and no less weight on our tears than on our laughter. And I would like to finish with this because, particularly in this time, this difficult time, and humans on the planet, the war and famine and climate change and disease and dis-ease and all, it is easy to get stuck in a malaise. And for me, I am blessed to be able to weigh in. And I encourage people to do that. Weigh in. Really, where is your life set to? When I am weighing in, my life is set to a scale. My life is a scale, tipped to yes. Yes to family. Yes to community. Yes to the heavens. Yes to the earth. Yes to pleasures of flesh and spirit. Yes to life and all its attendant chores and obligations. Yes to struggle. Yes to love. Yes. 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 I thank you.